Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming Film Talk with me, Robbie Fleming, and joining me as always is Justin Doyle. Hello, Justin.
Hello, Rob. What's up, buddy?
Not much, not much. So in July, Despicable Me 4 comes out, so I thought I'd bring you on today to talk about the films of Illumination and rank them from our least favorite to favorites.
Okay. Well, it was the movie that started it all, right? Despicable
Yes,
Me.
yes, it's the Toy Story of Illumination movies.
And I'd say it helped it out. Pretty good.
Definitely. And I only have to say, only one of these movies only one movie I give a 5-star rating to.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there's a lot of sequels, not necessarily originals.
Their last movie was a completely original film called Migration, which I quite enjoyed, and I will be talking about later on the list.
Yeah, I also enjoyed. Okay, cool. Well, should we kick it off?
Yes, can I please go first?
Please do the
Okay,
honors.
okay. My least favorite Illumination film is actually a sequel to one of these movies. And the reason why it's my least favorite is because it felt like it appealed to a certain demographic because a certain famous pop singer was in this one from a very well known band called U2. And this singer's name is Bono, and he appears in Sing 2.
It's a little bit higher on my list, not by much. So we'll get to it in a bit.
Yes, what's your least favorite?
All right, this movie. They say that it's sort of a holiday movie, but I would disagree with it. It has elements of it, but I don't think it's necessarily one. It was one I had not seen. I had to watch it. It's also the only half animated, half live action film in Illumination, um, and it's Hop.
That's just a tiny bit higher for me.
Okay, we'll get there soon.
Yes. Yes, we'll get there soon. And my number 13 is actually part of this big franchise of Stud, or it has some kind of good elements to it. That's why it's not completely at the bottom. But overall, I'll say this is more of a cash grab movie than anything else, and that's the reason why I don't respect it enough compared to the other movies. And that's Minions from 2015.
Just the Minions.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed that one, so that one's a little bit higher for me.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. All right. My number 13 is the sequel. Didn't know if we needed it. I guess the first one did well, so they're like, hey, let's make another one. But yeah, it bit off too many of the other great sort of adventure films that we've
Yeah.
seen before. I like the first one a lot. This one, not so great. It's The Secret Life of Pets too.
Okay, that's a tiny bit more higher.
Okay, moving right along.
Yes, my number 12 is based on a book. This one is. It's never had a sequel. It does star two people with the same first name. One of them being one of them being a one of them being a big superstar, and that's Delorax.
Which is also my number 12.
Yeah, compared to the Grinch, both versions, and Cat in the Hat, this doesn't. This is probably Anne Horton Hears a Who. This is probably my least favorite Doctor Seuss movie.
Yeah, possibly. Um, maybe it can rival with The Cat in the Hat, but
Yeah.
yeah, this one was just not hitting where we thought it was gonna hit. It's about a 12-year-old boy searches for the one thing that will enable him to win the affection of a girl of his dreams.
Yep.
He must find the story of the Lorax, the grumpy yet charming creature who fights to protect
I
his
do
world.
apologise. I thought Taylor Lautner was in this movie, but he's not.
Yeah, it's Zac Efron, Taylor Swift, Danny DeVito's
The Lorax
the
and Ed Helms.
Lorax. Also have Ed Helms, Betty White, Rob Riggle, Jenny Slate. Lots of great Stephen Tobolowsky. A lot of great voice actors. Yeah, I think this one just kind of was fine. That's the thing, is like some of these movies are fine. It's just not anything to really to stand on the mountain and sing. But I do like the book itself. The Dr. Seuss The Lorax is a fun little book.
Yeah. I can imagine the book's better than the actual movie.
Yes. Same director did a lot of the Illumination films, like Despicable Me and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. It's just interesting. I wonder if maybe why this one, Why didn't they do like Green Eggs and Ham, or, why the Lorax? Danny DeVito was definitely popular at the time.
He's always been popular.
Yeah. But the animation is a little kind of flat. Nothing really just stands out in this one.
Yeah, to be honest with you, none of the films stand out animation-wise. They're just more entertainment value.
Yeah, that is true. It's a very similar style. That nothing changes really.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
I do think this movie is well received because it's only got a 3.1 rating, average rating on Letterboxd, and I've given it a 2.5.
Rotten Tomatoes is at 54% with it. It's number 13 out of the 14 overall. And the page is not loading for some reason for the Lorax, but I don't know what IMDb has it for. Do you see it there?
No, I don't. I'm on the Letterboxd website.
Oh, here we go. 6.4. At the box office, we have a $70 million budget. Worldwide gross, $349 million. A lot of people seeing this, taking the kids out.
Yeah.
It's a universal flick.
They probably just saw it as a film just to take the kids to while they recover from a hangover or something.
Yeah. What did you think of Taylor Swift voicing?
She was fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to get loads of Swifties at my house throwing eggs at me. So I've got to be nice.
Yeah. And Zach always does his job.
He's better in the Iron Claw. If you want to see a better Zac Efron, watch that. Yeah.
Well, 17 again. That one's great too.
Oh, that one is great.
All right.
That was your number 12 as well?
Yep.
Nice. Awesome. So what's your number 11?
It is one that you've already talked about, and it's the sequel to Sing and Sing 2.
Yeah, I don't know whether you're a U2 fan, but I feel like this film only really will mean something to you if you like that band.
Mm-hmm.
The story feels a bit flat, and nothing's memorable apart from Scarlett Johansson's voice performance.
Yeah, well, Buster Moon is back, and his friends are trying to persuade the rock star Clay Calloway to join them for the opening night of a new show.
Yes, Bono plays Clay.
Yeah, and he's just a sad sack and just doesn't really want to perform anymore. They're trying, to keep their sort of seeing life going by trying to get him to come along and play with them.
Yes. I did miss Seth MacFarlane and John C. Reilly in this film as well.
Yeah, some of the same players are back, though. Scarlett Johansson, like you said, also Matthew McConaughey and Reese Witherspoon. Taron Egerton, who's always great. Nick Kroll came back. Nick Offerman's in there, Eric Andre, and then yes. Oh, Letitia Wright. She's blowing up right now.
And one of my other favourite singers, Halsey.
Yes, she plays Portia Crystal.
Wes Anderson has a cameo in this too.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is he?
It just says additional voices.
Hmm.
But
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I do like Garth Jennings. He is a fun director, but I prefer his British live action movies like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Son of Rambo. Those are more fun movies than Sing.
Yeah, he did a lot of music videos, and
Yes, he did a couple for Blur.
yes, and Radiohead, REM, Fatboy Slim, and I know we all want it. Sing 3 is in pre-production.
Can Seth MacFarlane and John C. Reilly come back for that one, please?
Yeah. People are loving it though. IMDb is 7.3.
Letterboxd is 3.3.
$85 million budget, $408 million. Wow.
No, this was quite popular because it had a February 2022 run. Because I don't know what it is, but I feel like they have this little tactic where they delay the release of a animated film that's meant to be around the late of the year, but delay it till February, so the parents can take their kids to see that film for the half term break we have,
Mm-hmm.
which is around February.
Interesting. Yeah, it came out in 2021 for us.
Yeah.
Ranked number 5 overall out of the 14 on Rotten Tomatoes. So they love this one. I bet it was Bono.
Yes, it was definitely Bono.
Okay. What's your number 11?
We can go back to your bottom. I'll let you handle this one. It's Hop.
All right. Hop follows E.B., the Easter Bunny's teenage son. He heads to Hollywood determined to become a drummer in a rock and roll band. He's taken in by Fred, who's an out-of-work slacker who hits E.B. with his car. This is, half animated, half live action. And, with how great James Marsden does.
I'll just pause you right there. Yeah, this is the first movie James Marsden teams up with a CGI character.
Yeah, and he does it, and he's great. We like his character here, but he's, does it so much better, I think, in the Sonic movies.
100%.
Yeah, and we got a lot of Easter Bunny, Easter themes here. With the chicks, and then the pooping of the jelly beans, which is just not necessary. But 3 bunnies are trying to get Hop back to, or EB back to, his homeland, and they infiltrate Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know Russell Brand, like I mentioned to you, he's been quite controversial in the media recently, but around this time he was everywhere. And this is one of the films I feel like he got cast because he had that everywhere status. Like sometimes it doesn't feel like he's suiting the voice he's playing compared to how he does the Doctor in Despicable Me.
Yeah, and not that he needs to have an accent or it should take away the accent. It just didn't fit what the character of Easter Bunny would seem,
Yeah.
But James Marsden is there. We also have Kaylee Kiyoko, who's very popular as well because of Big Bang Theory.
Yes, I love her in that.
Elizabeth Perkins, who we all love from Big.
Yes.
Gary Cole. David Hasselhoff, who's doing the America's Got Talent thing in there.
Yes, and we also have Hank Azaria, who's an incredible voice actor.
Yes, from The Simpsons.
Yes.
Yeah, this one just didn't. I mean, this one is probably just too much kid stuff
definitely.
going on.
Definitely. Plus, with me and Easter, I kind of grew out of it as I was a teen, and I feel like watching a film about Easter, it just didn't click with me the way Easter would to a child.
Yeah, I mean it's not even like on Easter or really about it. It's just about the bunny and then the characters that kind of come along with the Easter
Yeah,
theme. Not enough Jesus talk, that's for sure.
no.
Yeah, it's definitely made for the kids and not really made for us, obviously. It just the half animation didn't work for me, and that's why it is my number 14.
2.1 on Letterboxd.
5.4 on IMDb. $63 million budget. Worldwide gross is $184 million. It is the lowest on Rotten Tomatoes with 24% and sitting at number 14. Do you know Tim Hill and what he's done before?
Yes, he made the Tom and Jerry movie and he made the Fantastic Four no, he didn't. No, that's Tim's story. Tim Hill made Alvin and Chipmunks and Muppets in Space and Garfield too. So yeah, he's not a good director.
Yes. Garfield, A
Sorry, I
Tale of
got
Two
my Tim's
Kitties, Alvin and the... No, it's all right. The last movie he did was The War with Grandpa that came out during the pandemic. Didn't watch in theaters because it was one of the only movies.
That sounds like a movie that's doomed to fail straight away. I don't know what Robert De Niro is thinking.
Yeah, I think he was wanting another sort of Meet the Parents hit, you know.
Yeah,
The
something
same
like.
the same year, he also the Tim Hill put out the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run.
Oh yeah, I've only ever seen the first SpongeBob film.
Yeah, same. And I haven't seen any of the TV show.
The early stuff is better than the newer stuff, if that makes sense. I grew up with the older SpongeBob.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, that's out the way.
Out of the way.
Yes. So my number. Yeah, it's your number 10. Sorry.
No, you go.
Okay, so we spoke about the sequel. Let's talk about the original. Let's talk about Sing, which is my number 10.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. It's a little higher on my list.
That's fair enough.
But my number 10 is a sequel. Not just that, but it's the first ever third in a series. It's more of the same. This time we have a brother. This one's Despicable Me 3.
That's just a tiny bit higher.
Okay.
Okay. My number 9, I think, will be higher from yours. Ultimately, I prefer the original live action version of this movie, but you know, I think, and I didn't like the way how they kind of changed the story on this one. This is why I ranked it quite low. It's The Grinch.
Yeah, you're right about that. I enjoyed it, and it's for sure higher. Higher.
Yes.
Okay.
And your number 9?
My number 9 is the latest movie from Illumination. It is a lot of fun, and it's Migration.
That's a tiny bit higher.
Okay.
But we can talk about The Secret Life of Pets too, because that's my number 8.
Okay. And my number 13. Hit it!
Okay, normally I don't like Kevin Hart, but but these two movies are bearable. And this one, for some reason, Patton Oswalt's the voice of the main character, and he does fine because he's a fantastic actor. But the main reason I watched these movies is because I'm a big fan of the show Modern Family, and the actor who plays Cameron, who is my favorite character in that show, voices one of the characters.
Yes. He's so
And
good.
He's amazing.
Eric Stone Street.
Eric Stone Street, that's his name. But yeah, this one I feel like is what they wanted the first film to be, but couldn't sell it as the first movie because they needed to grip kids into it more. And you know what? I think it's fun for what it is, but it just doesn't beat the first one.
Oh yeah, no, no way. And again, it's just a lot of stuff that we've kind of seen before,
Yeah,
and it's just a little bit crazy of antics.
definitely.
Louis C.K. was the voice of the main dog in the first one, and he has his
Yeah,
issues, which is why Patton Oswalt took over,
makes
who's
sense.
Remy in Ratatouille, right?
Yes, we all know he's a great actor.
Yeah. But also, somebody comes and joins the roster in this one, who I always love,
Harrison Ford,
Mr. Harrison Ford. Yes, he comes in with the deep voice.
probably doing this for his grandkids.
Yeah, for some cash too, right? 'Cause the first one did so well.
Yeah,
You also have Tiffany Haddish in there, Kevin
she's
Hart, like you
great.
said, Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate is one of the biggest voiceover actresses, I'd say, to come out of in animation lately. She's in Zootopia, but she also did Marcel the Show with Shoes On.
Definitely, and live action fans will know her from Everything Everywhere.
Lake Bell's in there, Dana Carvey, Ellie Kemper, who's in The Office,
Yes,
Nick
I've been
Kroll's
watching
back,
it recently, The Office.
and yeah, I just don't think we needed a sequel to that
No,
one.
no, of course you're there, but I'm not a big fan of Nick Troll either. I feel like every single voice he does is the same voice.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean he has a plethora of the voices, but for some reason he does like to kind of just use that one that we all know him to do.
Yeah,
But he works with Illumination a lot because he was in the Sing movies, so he's
yeah,
right back at it doing playing Sergey.
yes,
Animals talking is something that Illumination likes to do.
it does, it does. But yeah, I don't think this one was a big hit because it's only a 2.6 on Letterboxd.
Yeah, and again, this is just continuing the story of Max and his pet friends following the secret lives after their owners leave them for work or school each day. It's kind of like Toy Story, right?
Yeah, I think this was their original plan to do like anthology film of what the pets get up to when they're not when their owners aren't around.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun idea. We just didn't need to see more of it.
No, we didn't.
6.4 on IMDb. $80 million budget, worldwide gross $431 million. Killing it.
Yeah,
Overall, it is number 8 on Rotten Tomatoes at 60%.
nice,
Okay.
nice.
Which one did you just do? Your
8.
number. So 6, 7, 8. My number 8. Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
It's the one that came before what we were just talking about. It's The Secret Life of Pets.
Okay, that's just a little bit on the way. So do you mind if we talk about a film that you previously mentioned, and that's Despicable Me 3, because that's my number 7.
Yeah, I mean we're gonna have to start talking about these movies eventually.
Definitely.
Hit me with
Okay,
it.
so
Despicable Me
here's
and
the
3.
thing. I love Despicable Me 3, and I love Trey Parker because I'm a mad South Park fan. So this film should be my
Yeah,
cup of tea. It is good. It has a clever premise, but but this is like the fourth movie in the franchise, and it's only fine.
yeah. It's it's kind of Gru wants to be the biggest villain out there, and then it
Yes.
turns out that there's a bigger villain out there who's doing it even better, and it's his brother. But
Yeah.
they're twins.
Yeah.
Like, one has hair, one doesn't. But Gru meets his long lost, charming, cheerful, more successful twin brother Drew, who wants to team up with him for one last criminal heist.
And yet, at the same time, they're also battling a former child star turned supervillain.
Huh. For the villain in this one,
Yeah,
yes.
the one Trey Parker voices, and Trey Parker does a fantastic job because he manages to use his amazing vocal talent to do different voices when you see this kid as a see this person as a child, teenager, and adult, and he puts on his different South Park voices for them.
Yes, and it works really well.
Yes.
Also, Kristen Wiig's back, Steve Carell, of course, Miranda Cosgrove's in there,
And
Dana,
Steve.
yeah, Steve Coogan, Jenny Slate's back, of course. But this has 3 directors behind it, and that's never good. Because sometimes if you need more than one director, it's not. That means it's not really
Everything's
working out.
Everywhere was made by 2 directors.
Yeah, well, yes, a duo, but this is not necessarily like a trio. I think what they give credit when they do like this one's the director of animation, this one's the director of
Voice.
the voiceover, this one's the actual director of the movie. So
Yeah,
when you have too many hands in the pot, sometimes it can come out a little salty.
yeah. This is why I'm glad there's only one Miyazaki.
Yeah. But yeah, again, this is just more of the same from what we've seen before.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
but it was fun bringing in the brother, and then of course you need a new supervillain, a villain battling a villain. Who's
Yeah,
the hero?
exactly.
But yeah, it's fun. I mean, they're obviously successful, and they're doing a 4th,
Definitely.
and it spawned off 2 other movies. So on IMDb. Oh my gosh, $80 million budget, worldwide gross $1 billion.
And a 2.5 on Letterboxd.
Number 9 out of 14 for Illumination on Rotten Tomatoes, 58%.
Nice.
Dang, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. That is a good amount of money.
No wonder why they're making a 4th.
And your number 7, good sir?
My number 7 is one of the movies that was spawned off from the franchise of Despicable Me. It's fun, but I really like the fact that it got people going to the movies and dressing up because Minions: The Rise of Gru was a delight.
It was, and it's a lot higher because I do love this movie.
Okay.
But
Next.
we can talk about The Secret Life of Pets now.
Aha.
That's my
Okay.
number 6.
Hit it.
Again, I love Eric Stone Street. I love Albert Brooks. So I thought, yeah, this film would be fine. And, it's just a really nice film about these 2 lovable dogs that end up finding themselves to be family.
Yeah. Yeah, when this movie came out, the whole premise of what do pets do when you leave the house. I mean, now we know because we have Ring cameras. We can find out exactly what they're doing and what they're getting up to all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a little bit of different animation than what we see. You know, the characters, the dogs and stuff, the cats, whatever. They're a little misshapen, which is fine. I mean, you got to do something new. But yeah, Louis C.K. did a great job. Too bad he's a pervert outside of this world. Otherwise, he could have done the sequel and still been
Kevin
around.
Hart's not a bad person. I just don't like him as an actor.
Yeah, and he's always the same voice, right? Everything's the same with him.
Yeah, it feels like it's always money that's in his head more than comedy and his passion for the job.
Yeah, he likes to battle his friends about who has the most money, like Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
But Nick Cannon's a mogul. Lake Bell is back, Jenny Slate, Ellie Kemper again. This time we had Albert Brooks.
He was a legendary voice actor.
Yes, and Hannibal Buress.
Oh yeah, he's the coach from Spider-Man.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, this takes place in Manhattan, so it gives us a new sort of look and feel to New York, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this one.
Definitely. It didn't. Although I've given it a good rating of 3.5, Letterboxd has only rated it average 2.8.
Yeah, there's even a ride at Universal now for this movie because it's so popular.
Okay.
6.5 on IMDb. $75 million budget. Worldwide gross $894 million. Yay. And it's number 3 overall on Rotten Tomatoes at 70%.
Nice. And I'm just gonna say this now. My 1 to 5 or 4-star or higher. Like these 5 before you get into your number 6, yeah, these 5 are all ones I actually like.
Okay. Well, I hope so. Sounds like we're gonna have some crossover as well. So I'm on number 6.
Yeah. Yes.
It's one of the movies that was spawned off of the one that started it all. Everyone loves bananas. This is Minions.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, this felt like too much of a cash grab.
Well, it was. You have a little popular character like a minion and turn it into a whole franchise. I mean, side franchise.
Yeah.
This time there's Sandro. Am I talking about this one right now, or
Yeah, of
did
course.
you?
This was my 13.
Oh, well then, yeah, you talk about it.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I love Sandra Bullock. I love John Hamm, and yet Michael Keaton's great. So is Alison Janney and Steve Coogan, Jennifer Saunders, and Jeffrey Rush. That is a good voice cast. But it just feels like the whole plot just kind of drags a bit, and it just kind of feels like they only made this movie because people were buying Minions everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're just so fun and silly, and actually, what's interesting about them is that they don't really know what sort of like horror is or terror, or they're never like scared of anything really. So to have, because they want to be evil villains too, so to have somebody like try to go against them, they're not really worried about it because they take care of this.
Yeah,
But we have the minions, Stuart, Kevin, and Bob are recruited by Scarlet Overkill, a supervillain who, alongside her inventor husband Herb, hatches a plot to take over the world.
definitely. And we only see Michael and Alison for a scene.
Alice and Janney and
Alison
Michael
Janney,
Keaton,
yeah, we only really see them for the opening scene.
well worth it. Of course, Steve Carell's in there doing young Gru. We have Hiroyuki Sanada in there, who's a sumo villain. He's good.
Yes. He's great. I love him.
We like him, yeah. And then all the others: Steve Coogan, Allison, Jeffrey Rush. What a great cast.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a whole movie about them makes it a little bit harder to stomach.
To me, Gru is the heart and soul of this franchise. The minions are just there to be funny.
Yeah, and the girls, like the whole family dynamic of it all.
Yeah.
The minions are literally just throwaway characters, and they don't even speak English. We have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah, but you could tell Stewart's a bit up himself.
Yeah, I mean, each one has good characteristics and really have their
Bob's my favorite.
separation. from each other, even though they're all the same. Yeah, it's fun though, and you're right, it is a cash grab, but wouldn't Minions 2 be even more of one? Let's see how much money it made. $74 million. Wow. $1.1 billion. Yikes.
And this
6
movie's
point,
only on for an hour and a half.
yeah, exactly. Most of these are an hour and a half. 6.4 on IMDb. Minions comes in at number 12 overall out of 14 with 56%.
2.8 on Letterboxd.
All right, we're down to the top 5.
And my number 5 is the first sequel of this studio. And this is the first. This is a sequel that I do praise a lot because I did see it in cinema, so I do have that sense of nostalgia for it. But it's also a really nice way for the characters to develop and enter this new arc where they learn how to become heroes. And this is Despicable Me too.
Which is also my number 5.
Yes, Steve Carell is back. Kristen Wiig plays a different character. Miranda Crossbow, Russell Brand, and I think and Elsie Fisher come back. I'm not sure about whether they changed the other girl. Yeah, it's the same Elsie Fisher from 8th grade. She's Wonder Girl.
Yeah, but she got it wasn't always her.
Yeah.
Dana Geyer is the same though. Benjamin Bratt, he's in
Benjamin
there.
Bratt, great actor. He's in this movie, and so is Ken Jeong and Steve Coogan. Yeah, this is Mr. Ramsbottom's introduction. I do always laugh when the little minion those the other minion goes bottom.
It's not a lot of these movies have been nominated for Oscars, but this one has 2. Do you know what they were nominated for?
Yes, because there is a song from this movie which I love, and a lot of people love, and the song got a lot of love, like literally after the film came out, and it's called "Happy."
It is. Everyone thought that was going to win Best Song that year, but did not. By Pharrell Williams, but also nominated for Best Animated Feature.
Pharrell Williams is a talented musician.
Yes, he is. Very, very talented. Do you know what movie beat out Despicable Me 2?
Was it Frozen?
It was, which means that what beat it out for song?
Let It Go.
Yes. Frozen just took both. So good try, Despicable Me 2 and an Illumination. This time, Gru is the world's most super bad turned super dad, has been recruited by a team of officials to stop a lethal muscle and a host of Gru's own. He has to fight back with his new gadgets and cars and more minion madness.
That's the purple minion. I love the purple evil minions.
Yeah, he's like Tasmanian devil.
Yes, he's the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, I think everyone was clamoring for more minions, that's for sure, after the first one. But then now we have just overload of minion.
Yes.
7.3 on IMDb, one of the highest so far. Over at the box office, it was $76 million budget. Worldwide gross, $970.7 million. Crazy, crazy. And number 2 overall on Rotten Tomatoes at 75%.
Nice. And it was on Letterboxd 3.1.
Okay. I'll let you take over on this one because you already brought it up. My number 4 is Sing.
Yes, this is basically The Greatest Showman, but in animation.
Which is why I love it.
Yeah, so Buster is trying to save the theatre by hosting a singing competition. We meet some really interesting characters. Matthew McConaughey is Matthew McConaughey, Reese Witherspoon, Scarlett Johansson, Taron Egerton, Tori Kelly, Jennifer Saunders, John C. Reilly, and surprisingly doing a kids movie because he normally does adult animation. Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy and American Dad. He was from Nelson Singh. And what I do like is I always say to people that he's a very talented singer and he's really good at replicating like swing music, and he does it really well in this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the music is really well done. It's what they call jukebox musical, where
Yes,
it's songs that we know and love, just done by different people.
a bit like there is a
Well,
jukebox.
Moulin Rouge, Greatest Showman.
Yes, and Rock of Ages. That's the one.
Oh, Rock of Ages, yes, not the Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman's original, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey is Buster Moon. Reese is in there. Scarlett Johansson. Jennifer Hudson and Tori Kelly, both actual singers.
Yeah.
Also, Rhea Perlman. I went to the red carpet premiere of this movie.
Oh, no way.
And yeah.
Did you meet Seth MacFarlane?
No, he wasn't around us much. Matthew McConaughey wasn't really close to us. Saw Stevie Wonder. And speaking of Modern Family, the little girl of Eric Stone Street was there. She came by.
The one that plays Lily.
Yeah. The
Oh,
funny
nice.
thing is, though, Reese came over to us, and I had like a Sharpie and a piece of paper ready for her to sign something, and she looks at me and she's like, "You want me to sign this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And her handler was about ready to get out a Sharpie so she could do it, and she just walked away. She didn't do it. But then took a photo with my girl, which was super strange. Like, what? I don't. So funny though. Anyways, I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time watching that film. Good voices, interesting animation, if there can be from Illumination. And it's my number 4. It was your number what?
It was my number 10.
There you go.
Yes, and it's a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
$75 million budget, $634 million worldwide, 7.1 on IMDb. Number 4 overall on Rotten Tomatoes out of the 14 was 71%.
Brilliant.
What's your number 4?
Migration.
Ah, yes.
Now, I think forgetting all your film knowledge and all your film preference, this would be a film I would love to show to a child.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we have a family of ducks try to convince their overprotective father to go on a vacation of a lifetime.
Yes, and it's Kumail Nanjiani, and he's bloody hilarious.
Elizabeth Banks, Danny DeVito,
Yes.
Aquafina,
Yes.
Isabella Merced, who is Dora the Explorer, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yes, and one of my other favourite sitcom actors, David Mitchell. He's in one of my favourite sitcoms called Peep Show. He was the voice of the yoga teacher Duck.
Written by Mike White. You know, one of the biggest movies he's written.
School of Rock, and he's something to do with TV called The White Lotus.
White Lotus, yes. Very, very popular. Let's check out these directors. Yeah, this movie just came out last year, and wasn't really talked about a lot, but
this. You know how I was saying about them delaying a film to February for the kids to watch during the holidays. This was this year's February animation release.
Nice. The same director of Ernest and Celestine, which was an Oscar-nominated movie.
I do need to see that.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, yeah, I like Kumail Nanjiani as the dad, and who doesn't love Elizabeth Banks?
Oh,
But
the boy duck is Garth Jennings' son.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
What's your opinion on Aquafina? Because we both know that Josh isn't a fan of her.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of the like next to Jenny Slate, she's become one of the biggest animated voice stars because she has
Yeah,
such the raspiness of both their voices really gives them a unique quality, and maybe more
yeah,
pleasant to hear and listen for an hour and a half. Because she was in Ryan the Last Dragon.
yeah.
Aquafina
I
was.
preferred Aquafina in that to this because she's only really pops in and out of this movie.
Yeah. So this, I think this is a great addition to the Illumination oeuvre. I'm sure they were looking for it to do well so they can do a sequel to it, because that's what they love to do with their movies. But,
I think I also love the score for this movie.
oh, yeah?
It's just, does normally these films rely on pop music, but this one kind of felt a bit more different. It felt like it was actually trying to be a bit more artistic.
Yeah, I mean, with family movies, you kind of have to have uplifting music throughout. Um, and I think that did well. And, it's something that we don't really get to see much of. What happens in Rio, the movie Rio and Rio 2? They go migration.
Yeah, this is pretty much the same as this, but for this is more funny.
Yeah, and the animation it's not the same as the normal Illumination. They
Yes,
actually kind of mixed it
yes.
up in this one.
This came out February
And
2nd, 2024 for us.
for us, it was December 24th,
So
right
only
in
a month
time
and a
for the
half off.
holiday.
Yeah,
Did really well. $70 million worldwide, grossed 298 million.
nice.
6.7 on IMDb. You can watch it on Peacock. A lot of these Illumination movies are on Peacock, so you can check them out over there. Of course, Illumination is a product of Universal Pictures, which is also a product of NBC, which is Peacock.
Yes.
Migration is number 6 overall out of the 14 for Rotten Tomatoes at 72%.
Nice. And on Letterbox, it's 3.1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looks like we're going to have the same number 1 and number 2, but what is your number 3?
Minions, Their Eyes Are Grew.
All right, let's talk about it. Hit me.
So yeah, you know what? I think adding Gru into the story with the minions works because you get this also feels like Gru's origins movie mixed with a minion subplot, which it should have really been what the first movie should have been. And this is jam packed with big stars. We're not just talking about like people like Aquafina. We're talking about big stars. We have got the late great Alan Arkin, Tara P Henson, Michelle Yao, John Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, Danny Trejo, and Lucy Lawless,
Oh yeah.
and Will Arnett as
Um,
well.
and what?
Will Arnett,
Yes, Steve Coogan, of course. John DiMaggio, who's in there he does all the voices from Futurama.
yes, love Futurama, and RZA. He plays
Julie Andrews.
yes, Julie Andrews, Steve Carell, and Russell Brand are back, and the guy who does all the minions voices.
RZA. Yeah, Pierre Coffin, who actually has also directed some and written some stuff.
Definitely.
Uh, yeah. It was
One
so the
thing
first Minions is
people
no, I liked it a lot. Again, I think if you're going to become a spectacle to make people go to the theater to watch a movie, I think that's great. However, you can get people in the theaters is awesome. But people were going in suits and being, like super silly in the
I don't,
theater. But
I don't get where that trend came from. So they don't wear suits in the movie,
yeah, I don't really know. I think it was just because you can look the same, just like all the minions look the same.
right?
But it was a TikTok thing, which is why it became so popular. Everything from TikTok blows up.
As I was working at the cinema, and I just kept seeing those of these boys dressed as the minions, two in suits. I'm like, oh, have you just came back from our parties? Well, no, we're here to see minions too. I'm like, why are you wearing a suit?
Mm. Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, lots of different stuff happening in this one. Um, this is the untold story of one 12-year-old's dream to become the world's greatest supervillain. Yeah, just like you said, his origin story. Because I believe at the end of Minions is when they meet, right?
Yes, yes,
But yeah, this is a lot of fun. I think it was a good addition into its sort of franchise with Despicable Me and the Minions movie. It was great fun.
definitely,
This
definitely.
one's for some reason on Prime Video and not on Peacock.
This is a
Maybe it's
3.2 on Letterboxd. So if you live in the UK, it's on the UK Netflix.
oh nice. 6.5 on IMDb. Dang, $80 million budget, worldwide gross $940 million. So every single one of these Illumination movies made money. Every single one.
Yes,
That is crazy.
yes.
All right, my number three. You can talk about it because it was a lot lower on your list. It's The Grinch.
Right, okay. So I have read the book to this movie and I have seen the original movie, and they made changes to the book that I didn't agree on. First things first, they got rid of the girl's dad and they gave her two brothers. I don't know what the hell was about this. I like Angela Lansbury, but Jeffrey Tambor was a bit more sinister and a bit more better as the mayor character. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is the heart and soul of this movie because he really does a good job as the Grinch. But I do feel like Jim Carrey's practical comedy works better.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even compare, except for the fact that there's, a similar story or whatever, but the live action is way better than this. But
Yeah.
this is a fun and interesting Illumination animated film. I mean, we got to see a lot of stuff that we haven't seen in others, and yeah, no one has voiced perfect than Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. I mean, it's perfect pairing. Uh, and you just get to do a little bit more with animation than you can in like a live action movie to try to make it practical, because that's what Ron Howard likes to do. So they just had a little bit more fun in this one, and yeah, the story is definitely different than what we've seen before. Also, Rashida Jones, Pharrell Williams is the narrator for some reason. Keenan Thompson's in there.
Yes, he is.
And yeah, those are really the main people there. I love Whoville though. Whoville's always a great place to visit.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Do you like Horton Hears a Who?
I do. Yeah, that's fun.
Nice.
The Grinch is a great holiday movie. Check it out during this Christmas season.
Yes, it's a 2.9 on Letterboxd.
6.4 on IMDb. $75 million budget, worldwide gross $540 million. Not doing well though overall. Number 10 out of 14 for Illumination on Rotten Tomatoes, 60%.
Yes.
So the question is, what did we have for our number one, number two? Is your number one my number two, and my number two your number one, or do we both have the same number one? Do we both have the same number two?
That's it's literally that I didn't realize it would come to this, but literally, and only one of these movies I
Yeah.
given a 4-star rating to as well.
All right. Well, what's your number two?
The movie that started it all, Despicable Me.
And that is my number one because it just had to be. It started it all. So let's talk about that first.
Yes, this is the Toy Story of Illuminations movie. This has a brilliant character arc about a supervillain who decides to become good because he's adopted 3 lovable orphans.
What a cool idea.
I
I
know.
mean, how do you get somebody who's a supervillain to lighten up his ways? Well, it's either fall in love or, well, it's fall in love, and that's either with a person who you're attracted to or with kids.
Who become your family.
Yeah, and they call you dad.
Yes.
It is really, really sweet. He's a criminal mastermind. He adopts 3 orphans as pawns to carry out the biggest heist in history, but it takes an unexpected turn when the little girls see this evildoer as their potential father.
Yes, and this one has the best villain of the Despicable Me films. I love Vector.
You love who?
Vector, the villain.
Vector, played by Jason Segel. Steve
You
Carell's
can't
back.
picture it's Jason Segel. You picture it to be somebody nerdy doing the voice, but it's average Joe Jason Segel who's quite good looking in real life.
Yeah, Russell Brand is Dr. Nefario. We have Will Arnett, Julie Andrews, Kristen Wiig. Elsie, Miranda, and Dana started off. Jermaine Clement's in it. Danny McBride, Jack McBrayer,
Yes.
Mindy Kaling, Rob Hubel, Ken Jeong. Started off big. Big cast. Gotta go big. Of
And
course.
plus, Will Arnett is one of the greatest voice actors ever. I've watched every single episode of BoJack Horseman, and he just kills it in that show.
Who?
Will Arnett.
Oh, Will Arnett. Yes. Yeah, of course, he's a Lego Batman.
Yes.
Does a great job.
The stuff he does with his voice is just phenomenal.
Nobody was more popular than Steve Carell at this time, so why not give him a franchise he can voice for the rest of his life?
Actually, most of these actors are technically sitcom stars. Steve Carell's in The Office, Jason Segel's in How I Met Your Mother, Will Arnett's in Arrested Development. Yeah, they're all sitcom stars.
Yep. Yeah, look at that. Jack McBrayer was on 30 Rock. Mindy Kaling also in The Office.
Yep.
Ken Jeong on Community.
Yes.
Yeah, the girls really elevated this movie as well. They were really, really sweet. The fluffy unicorn thing
Russell
was really,
Brand's
really
always
big.
been more of a TV personality to an actual star, if that makes sense. He's often done panel show and those kind of stuff with TV.
Not here in the States though.
No, more in Britain.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the movie that started it all, and boy, do we love it. 7.6 on IMDb. One of the lowest grossing movies, however, $69 million budget, $543 million it made. But it is number one on Rotten Tomatoes out of the Illumination films with 80%, which is crazy. That's as high as they go. It's 80%.
And it's a 3.5 on Letterboxd.
Which is one of the highest as well.
Yes,
but
that is Despicable Me. And now let's talk about my favourite movie from.
And my number two, but also is the highest grossing movie in Illumination, but also one of the lowest rated. Let's talk about your number one, which is,
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
that's right, Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day. They are Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. Take it away.
Yes, I love the Mario games. I have owned a couple of Nintendo consoles in my life and have played loads of Mario games. I just love the world, just love the crazy stuff they do. And the Mario movie, proper Mario movie, not the 90s ones, I've never seen it, is what I exactly wanted my whole young life. And boy, this movie is everything a Mario fan could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, it played so true to the game and had so much fun with what happens in the game. You know, they really, that's the reason why we all are here anyway, is because of the game. So make it feel like the game as much as possible.
Yes,
And I
and
think it
yes,
did.
and Chris, Anya, and Charlie were completely fine, but the one who steals the show is Jack Black because he is the only person in this movie that transforms his voice into the character he's actually playing. You do not hear Jack Black unless he's singing in this movie. When he is talking, you hear Bowser.
Yes, absolutely. Um, it is different animation from what we've seen from Illumination as well. It is more detailed and 3D like. It has more um, texture to it than most of the other Illumination movies, which I really really appreciated.
Yeah. Well,
But
also,
yeah, a
also,
plumber.
my only gripe I have with this movie, and it's nothing to do with the actual production or the film itself. It's more, I feel like this film was made by Nintendo. They were above the whole Illuminations and the crew and cast. Like they had to have their say in this movie to make sure it was a box office and critical success.
Yeah, and it certainly was. Also starring uh,
Keegan Michael Key,
Sebastian Maniscalco, John DiMaggio's back again.
yes.
Fred Armisen's in there. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Fred Armisen is the worst actor in this film. They
Well,
should have
Seth
changed.
Rogen as Donkey Kong was a little bit weird too.
Yeah, but with Fred Armisen, he just feels like he was off. Like, I get he was trying to play a cranky old man, but why not just get a cranky old man? Why not get
Yeah.
Larry David?
Oh yeah,
That would
that
be
would have been
hilarious.
super super fun. Yeah, this is one of the better animated films of that year last year, and should have done a lot better
Not as good as
awards.
Elemental, or The Boy and
Not
the Heron, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
well, I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the best, but I think this is yeah, it's up there. One of the better ones for
Definitely
sure.
up there. It's better than that Adam Sandler one, Leo, or Ruby Gillman.
Yes. But yeah, we just love that it stayed true to the game. We had a lot of fun, and it is your number one, my number two. 7.0 on IMDb. $100 million budget, worldwide gross $1.3 billion.
And a 3.3 on Letterboxd.
11 out of 14 on Rotten Tomatoes at 59%.
I can see why this film would probably have its critics.
Yeah. I mean, get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, let's run them down quickly. I'll go first just because we were all over the place. My number 14 was Hop, followed by number 13, which is Life of Pets 2, then The Lorax, Sing 2. Coming up after that is Despicable Me 3, then Migration. Secret Life of Pets came in before that. Before that one was Minions: Rise of Gru. Then we have Minions. Topping my 5 is Despicable Me 2. Then I have number 4 is Sing. Number 3 is The Grinch. Number 2 is the Super Mario Brothers movie. And number 1, Despicable Me.
Lovely, lovely. Right, my least favourite at 14 is Sing 2, followed by Minions, followed by Lorax, followed by Hop, followed by Sing, followed by The Grinch, followed by Secret Life of Pets 2, followed by Despicable Me 3, followed by Secret Life Pets 2, no, Pets 1, sorry. Despicable Me 2 is my 5. Migration is number 4. My bronze is Minions Rise of the Gru. My silver is Despicable Me, and my favourite Illumination film, the only film I give a 5-star rating to, is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Boom. Killed it. Nice.
Yes.
What a list.
Definitely. But yeah, I
Go
feel
on.
like with Illumination films, they are more wanting to please crowds than win awards.
Oh yeah, and I think that's evident because every single movie made money in above the line. Every
And,
single one.
and isn't it Despicable Me 2 is the only one that's been nominated?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That is
Cool.
crazy.
Any movie recommendations?
Oh, indeed, I do. It should be the biggest film out at the moment, but it's not doing so well on the box office. I do love this director. I do love this franchise, and I definitely love the two actors in this movie. It's Furiosa and Mad Max Saga, which is
I
my
might as
favorite film of
well.
the year so far.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Might as well.
Yes.
What do you?
What did you think to it?
Well, you know, when you love a movie so much and one of the all-time greats and movies that just can come into your life and take over, you know, like a top 10 or be you know, knock one of your favorite movies of all time off of its roster like Mad Max Fury Road did for me. This one just could
I
never live up
recently
to it.
got the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's good. Nice, good for you. I own it as well.
Nice.
But this is the origin story of Furiosa. Turns out she gets kidnapped and taken, and that's where her story sort of begins. It's, you know, it's more of an origin story. There's a lot of personal stuff that happens in it, not a lot of action like Mad Max Fury Road. But when there is action, boy, oh boy, does it sing.
Yes.
There's cool world building in there,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no stakes. There's no stakes. Furiosa is in Mad Max Fury Road.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
So
It's
what are we? No, I know. Yeah. So if this was a prequel and Mad Max was a sequel, it'd be the greatest 2 movies to ever come out. But we know what happens with the Furiosa character. So why, you know, what are we worried about in this one?
You
What are
worry
we
about
trying to
what
get?
happens to her arm. How we find out what happens to her arm. We find out what happens
Oh,
to her hair.
ooh, great, awesome. Yeah, that's what I was more worried about was what happened to her arm. Chris Hemsworth definitely steals the show. He is having a lot of fun with his character. Don't know why we needed the nose prosthetic, but
But
I
the
guess it worked all right.
voice.
Yes.
He sounded like a cricket commentator or some kind of sport commentator.
I really liked Furiosa's mom. I thought she was pretty sweet.
Yes.
But yeah,
And I
I
liked
don't know.
Tom Burke because he's a very good actor. And the younger Furiosa we see in the first hour of the film is also fantastic.
Hmm. Yeah, this is. I mean, there's no denying how good this movie is. The production design, the
The
cinematography.
only actor that properly comes back is Nathan Jones.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody's seeing this movie for I don't know why. I mean, people should be seeing this on the screen. This is something that is a spectacle, something that should be.
Yes.
Couple gripes is that you know because it's been 9 years since the first one or the one before, you know, this prequels. They're able to do more with CGI than they did with practicalities in the first one. So I like more practical stuff, but you know, I guess if you have the ability to add some CGI, add it.
Not only that, but you have to understand George Miller's not a young man anymore. He can't really do all these practical stuff he used to do.
Hey, no, but nobody can do this movie besides him. It is something to behold. I think it'll be up for a lot of technical awards. I don't know if it might win any, but it will not be up for Best Picture like Mad Max was. This is far beyond, a movie like that. But it's definitely
I
something to be
prefer it
seen.
to the other 3 original Mad Max films.
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course. There's nothing, I mean, this movie's a lot better than a lot of the other movies. The shitty thing about it is that your sequel is one of the greatest movies ever.
Yes. Yes, and in the middle you did a really interesting genie movie. Did you see
I
that, Doc?
love the
Did you see
in the
3,000
middle.
Years of Longing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. Production design killed it. Uh,
Definitely.
I love the motorcycles, the horse motorcycles. Those are so cool. The carriage motorcycles. It was such a unique idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an undeniable good movie. People need to be seeing it. I don't know why they're not. 7.9 on IMDb and a budget of $168 million and it's grossed $74 million.
I'm hoping that number gets higher before it stops playing in cinema.
Yeah, it's not gonna get much higher.
Yes.
Well, Mad Max Fury Road, $150 million, worldwide gross 380. So it didn't do
One thing
crazy
I do
numbers.
praise about George Miller is I like how we cast disabled people in his roles.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, he is smart.
Cool. All right. Well, there you have it.
Yep, that's the show, everyone. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Justin, for coming on again.
My man. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I do have an episode lined up for the future with you. It's the films of Todd Phillips.
Okay.
Yes, the Joker comes out. Joker 2 comes out in October, so I'd like to do an episode about his movies. I know Cody's not a big fan of Todd Phillips. But he also has a trilogy.
Yeah. Okay. Is it Bittersweet Motel, Frat House, and Hated Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies part of it?
What, his movies?
Those are movies. Bittersweet Motel is a documentary
never
that he
heard-
directed.
Yeah,
It's a documentary about fish.
we'll just do his feature films.
So Road Trip, Old School, Starsky and Hutch, School for Scoundrels, Hangover, Due Date, Hangover 2, Hangover 3, War Dogs, Joker.
Yes.
Great. I do like the first two. Cool. That'll be fun. All right. Great.
Great.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, buddy. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Right.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you, and I'll be
Tell us what
joining you
your
soon
favorite
on your
Illumination movie
channel.
is, and if you're excited for Despicable.
Yes, and I'm looking
Yes,
forward to
the Amy Winehouse biopic.
Yes.
Cool, buddy. Enjoy the night. I know it's a little bit late there. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, talk soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.